Hi everybody, this is Cynthia Kane again. This tutorial is going to walk you through the engagement credit point activities and also the first learning assessment that you may choose to complete for this first week of Identify and Scope. Now, what you're going to be doing for this class is actually something called specifications grading. And with specifications grading, you can actually choose the grade that you would like to earn in this course. So this choice is actually up to you, and we hope that it's going to give you a lot more flexibility on what you would like to complete and then also what you would like to try to learn and get out of this class. So for Identify and Scope, we're going to scroll down. And hopefully by this point, again, you've watched the Identify video tutorial. You've also watched our 2 videos from YouTube on how false news can spread and the scrapping of internet privacy. You've also watched the Scope video tutorial. And now we're ready for our engagement activities and your first learning assessment. So we have 2 engagement activities and also a learning assessment that are due by Friday, October 18th at 11:59 p.m. The introductions should not take you this long. And you can earn up to 5 points of engagement credits for this first activity. You can introduce yourself in 1 paragraph in this discussion thread. Tell us what your major is, your year in school, what you plan to do after you get your degree, why you are in this class, and at least one thing that we cannot learn about you from reading the profile that you've set up in Canvas. And you can actually click on reply and then go ahead and put your information in here. This particular paragraph is worth 5 engagement credit points. Then, if you choose, you can rework your paragraph into an infographic and post it to the discussion along with 3 or 4 sentences about your experiences creating it. This is separate from this discussion. So if we click on this link, this will tell you a little bit more about what the infographic would entail. Now, you might not be familiar with an infographic, but I am sure that you've actually seen one or more by this point. We're going to show you what an infographic actually looks like. So an infographic, if you click on creating them here, is a visual representation of information that uses design to catch the reader's eye and communicate content. So whenever you have a graph like this that's very visual, it's communicating facts in a rather entertaining and graphic way using colors, charts, and other design elements. That's what an infographic is. This is another example of an infographic. This is talking about what we can learn about how college students seek information. According to this statistic, 80% of students don't ask librarians for help. We definitely want you to ask us for help. But they're talking about that 82% of the students surveyed go to Wikipedia to obtain background information, and 66% of the students surveyed here say defining a topic is most difficult. So again, this is a little bit more of an entertaining and graphic way of communicating information. So going back up here and clicking on the back button, if you would like to earn up to 20 additional engagement credit points, you could choose to create an introductory infographic. And in this one, you would actually be introducing yourself again. You would actually mention the information that you already mentioned in your introductory paragraph. So this introductory infographic, again, is telling us some factual information about yourself that you really want us to know about. If you've never created an infographic before, we're going to click here and scroll down to the bottom. And there are several free tools available online. I have used PictoChart more than others, but Canva is another one. And we have 2 others here, including Easily and Venngage. All of these require you to register, and it is free. You can use a Facebook account, or you could just create a free username and password to do these as well. I'm going to go ahead and click on PictoChart because I do have an account with PictoChart. And I'm going to click on Log In. I'm going to sign in with my Facebook account. These are some infographics that I have already created. To start, you can click on a template for infographic. Choose one that looks rather interesting. Again, these are all free. Here's the importance of sleep. I might choose this one to create my introductory infographic. And this is very easy to do. You can actually click on any element that you would like to delete because you do want to delete elements that you really don't want. So I could put here, for example, facts about Cynthia Kane. This is going to be my introductory infographic. So you see how easy that is. We don't want this to be too time consuming. I can add my photo here if I want it by just clicking over here to photos. And I can add my own image if I want it from any pictures that I might have saved on my computer. So you can do that as well and make it a little bit more interesting. And this is where I could type some information about myself. So for example, I might say, a lot of people might be surprised to know that my favorite reality TV show is 90 Day Fiancé. So I'm just having some fun with this. And this is what we want you to do with your introductory infographic. Put in the facts about yourself that you have in your introduction, but make it a little bit more visual. And again, this is worth up to 20 engagement credits. When you have finished adding everything to your infographic, you're going to click on Download. And your choice will be to download this as a PNG file. This is what you want to download onto your computer. I'm going to cancel this. You can also preview your infographic at any point so you can see what it looks like. So again, once you finish, you download that as a PNG file. And then going back to the assignment, we'll go back here. This is where you're going to add your paragraph about yourself. And then down here under Attach, this is where you could choose your file, your PNG file for your infographic, and this is where you would attach it. Please contact me though if you have any questions about this or any technical difficulties, and I'd be more than happy to help you with that. Again, you can choose to do the introductions, and you can choose to do the introduction infographic for an additional 20 points. It just depends on what you're going for with your grade for this class. Also by October 18th, we have a brief syllabus quiz that you will complete. And this could count for up to 6 engagement credit points. There are 2 attempts at this. This is totally open book, so you could actually open another tab on your browser if you wanted and go back to the syllabus here. Or download the syllabus as a PDF and use that as you're completing your syllabus quiz. It's just a way of getting a little bit more familiar with the requirements of the syllabus and the course requirements. So that's also due by 11:59 p.m. on October 18th. Notice that the introduction infographic is due at 11:59 p.m. October 20th, so you have a little bit more time to do that. Also, our first learning assessment, if you choose to do this, is due by 11:59 p.m. October 18th. And on this one, you might be familiar with TED Talk short videos about a lot of different topics. You can go to www.ted.com and you can explore some different topics that would look interesting. Anything that you think might possibly relate to a topic that you're going to be working on later in class with some other learning assessments. So I might be interested in conservation. And here are some possible TED Talks that I could watch about conservation. And none of these are very long. This one's 5 minutes, this was 13 minutes. There's another one that's 5 minutes. So with this learning assessment, you would choose a talk and answer the questions listed below in writing a summary about the talk. And we do want something that you want interesting because this might relate again to a topic you're going to be researching later on for this class. You do need to do an APA citation or an MLA citation for the TED Talk. And then you can take a moment to think about the TED Talk. Think about the 3 most important things you learned, 2 things or ideas you'd like to learn more about, and 1 question that is not yet answered. And then finally, close out your post with a preliminary research topic or question, which is not the same as this bullet point, something that you would really be interested in researching later on. You post this in your reply feature again in this discussion thread. Now, since this is a learning assessment, it doesn't actually have points assigned to it. When we grade a learning assessment, we grade it as incomplete or complete. The complete means that you have done everything here very, very well. You have fulfilled all the requirements and really gone beyond that for this to be complete. If any of these requirements are not completed, so for example, you leave out the citation or you don't provide a short summary of the talk, we will return the assessment to you as incomplete. Now, you do have some opportunities to go ahead and rework a learning assessment and then return it for consideration as complete. So please do keep that in mind. That's how we will grade these learning assessments, as incomplete or complete. But if it is incomplete, you can go back, rework it, and submit it to be considered as complete. Let's go back here. So we've covered everything except for this last one, yet another engagement activity, which is an identify and scope discussion. This is also due by 11:59 p.m. October 20th. So this one, if you choose to do this, this is, again, worth up to 5 points of engagement credits. You can describe how you approach research for a class project or for a personal information need. There are no really right or wrong answers, but we would expect probably about 5 or 6 sentences in which, how do you start doing research for a project? If you have to look for an apartment or making a major purchase, what do you do? Where do you start looking for information? Who do you ask? If you decide that you're going to draw a graphic of your research process and upload it, you get 5 bonus credits. And if you do that, you can attach your graphic the same way that you're going to attach your introductory infographic. Go down here to attach, and then choose your graphic that you've drawn. If you have any questions about any of these first engagement activities or this first learning assessment, please don't hesitate to contact me at ckane1@emporia.edu, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Good luck.